I'm more so like invested in people's character and personality. Okay. I used to have like a very like detailed physical descriptor.
Love, heartbreak, locker room heartbreaks, and real-life wins, all in one wild ride. First up, Kayla Nicole flips the script on age timelines and dating pressure with some much-needed no-filter wisdom. Then, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce give fans a peek into their early romance through intimate behind-the-scenes calls.
I love you. I don't know, how do you remember 36,000 plays that are all tactical missions and then just go do it?
And then, the mood turns heavy as Andy Reid opens up about the Chiefs' emotional crash after playoff elimination and Mahomes' injury.
They battled. It wasn't for a lack of effort or battling. We just had some mistakes that cost us.
Finally, Kylie Kelce steps forward with a heartfelt personal announcement that hits home. If you've ever stared at your phone at 2 a.m., wondering why your life isn't matching the imaginary Pinterest board you made in your head at 22, Kayla Nicole is basically speaking your language right now. The 31-year-old media personality has entered her Let It Cook era, and she's serving wisdom with a side of sass, humor, and gentle reality checks for anyone who feels like love missed its calendar reminder. Nicole recently got candid about the pressure people put on themselves to hit certain milestones by a certain age, especially when it comes to relationships. According to sources close to her thinking, she believes those self-imposed timelines are mostly fictional, like New Year's resolutions that disappear by January 12th. She reflected on how life isn't a race against a ticking clock and how people waste too much emotional energy grieving a love that hasn't happened yet. Instead, she's all about enjoying what's already on your plate while it's still warm, because moments don't wait for anyone to finish spiraling. Those familiar with her recent reflections say she puts things into perspective by reminding people just how limited time really is. The idea wasn't morbid, just grounding. The takeaway was simple. If you're lucky enough to keep stacking years and memories, maybe stop acting like your life is over because your love story didn't follow the script you wrote in your early 20s. Sources also point out that Nicole's dating standards remain elite, but her humor keeps it from sounding delusional. In a past podcast appearance, she joked about being done with dating athletes while casually leaving the door wide open for team owners instead. The message wasn't about status chasing, but about wanting someone established, secure, and not sliding into her DMs while she's trying to live her life.
I keep saying I don't want to date any more athletes, but I'm down to date the owners of the teams.
She reportedly emphasized that she wants a partner who actually has things to do, ambitions to chase, and responsibilities beyond texting her all day.
The bar really is in hell these days, right? You know, because it's like a job. Like, when we start there, you have work to do. You have something to do besides bugging me all day. I mean, I'm more so like invested in people's character and personality. Okay. I used to have like a very like detailed physical descriptors and like career and no kids. All of that stuff kind of goes out the window.
Those who follow her closely say Nicole's idea of romance is refreshingly intentional, not flashy for Instagram, but thoughtful in real life. She has shared what a perfect date looks like to her, and it's less about flexing and more about effort. According to people familiar with her posts, she imagines being picked up properly, not a meet-you-there situation. The date involves a plan, not a last-minute what-do-you-want-to-do text. There's door-opening energy, sidewalk-switching chivalry, and the kind of conversation that makes time irrelevant. The vibe is deep laughs, locked-in eye contact, and being so tuned into each other that the rest of the room fades into background noise. And while Kayla Nicole was busy reminding everyone that love doesn't run on a Google Calendar, another very public romance was quietly showing how it all starts when nobody's watching. Taylor Swift's latest docuseries peeled back the glitter curtain and casually dropped fans straight into the early, hard eyes phase of her relationship with Travis Kelce, right before her Eras tour hit London. It wasn't fireworks or dramatic declarations, just two people clearly deep in their feelings, sounding like they were already each other's emotional support apps.
Baby! How you doing?
The series captured their private phone calls during that pre-London stretch, and the vibe was very much we're obsessed but trying to act normal. The conversations unfolded like comfort food for romantics, showing how Kelce checked in around showtime, how Swift leaned in on him while juggling nerves, and how easily they slipped into playful back-and-forths that felt more real than anything fans had seen from a distance. For viewers who followed their story from rumor to headline to engagement, these moments felt like sneaking into the group chat you were never supposed to see. Instead of big speeches or cinematic romance, the magic was in the mundane. Kelce came across as genuinely amazed by Swift's ability to casually pull off massive performances, while Swift seemed equally impressed by how he memorized complex football plays like it was no big deal. According to those who watched closely, the two bonded over the idea that their jobs, while wildly different, both involved pressure, teamwork, and performing under lights that never dim. The comparisons weren't forced, just funny, mutual, and weirdly wholesome.
I know, we'll do a little dressing room rehearsal. I love you. I don't know, how do you remember 36,000 plays that are all tactical missions and then just go do it? It's the same.
One standout moment happened before Swift's first London show, when she shared her excitement about planning a surprise performance detail. Kelce's reaction was pure awe, the kind that comes from someone who knows greatness when he hears it. Swift, apparently amused, flipped the admiration right back at him, turning the conversation into a playful debate about whose job required more mental gymnastics. It spiraled into jokes about teammates, coaches, and the very different support systems that keep them grounded, with laughter doing most of the heavy lifting. The distance clearly hit Kelce harder than he let on. He wanted to be there badly, but work obligations kept him stateside. Swift teased him about it, while Kelce reportedly promised to consume every fan-recorded clip the internet could offer.
I want you to be here.
I want to be there.
Why do you have to be in the NFL?
So I'm going to be scouring the internet for you.
I'm so excited.
You sing this song.
I'm so excited.
The affection between them didn't feel performative. It felt like two people clinging to connection through phone screens and time zones, hyping each other up when it mattered most. After the show, Swift called him again, riding the emotional high that comes when nerves finally release their grip. She sounded relieved, happy, and slightly overwhelmed in that post-performance way only live artists really understand.
It went so great. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved baby.
Kelce's response was calm and grounding, the verbal equivalent of handing someone a hoodie and saying, "You did amazing." Swift shared how the crowd's energy lifted her instantly, and Kelce agreed, reinforcing the idea that the audience gave her exactly what she needed in that moment.
It's like the crowd knew that I needed a pick-me-up. Like when I walked out on stage, they were wilder than I've ever seen.
And while that crowd energy was doing emotional CPR for one superstar, the vibe couldn't have been more different back in Kansas City, where the Chiefs' locker room felt like someone unplugged the jukebox mid-song. The scene was heavy, quiet, and painfully real after the Chiefs' season officially went up in smoke following their loss to the Chargers, a defeat that didn't just end playoff hopes, but also delivered the gut punch of Patrick Mahomes going down with a devastating injury. Andy Reid, according to those present, didn't sugarcoat a single thing and made it clear the mood was as rough as it gets. Reid acknowledged that everyone in the building felt it, from the veterans who've been there for the glory runs to the younger guys who were tasting that level of disappointment for the first time. The team wasn't angry in a loud throw helmets way, but more emotionally drained, like a group that gave everything they had and still came up short. Reid emphasized how high the standard has always been in Kansas City and how falling below it stings more when you're used to being the benchmark everyone else is chasing. The loss itself only added salt to the wound. Dropping to 6-8 officially slammed the door on postseason dreams and snapped a decade-long playoff streak, something that felt almost unthinkable for a franchise that has lived in January football for so long it practically owns real estate there. This marked the first December collapse in years, and the shock of that reality hung thick in the air. The idea of watching the Super Bowl from home instead of preparing for it reportedly hit the locker room like a cold shower. The emotional toll was magnified by the timing. The Chiefs had already seen their division hopes disappear, but there was still a sliver of wildcard optimism hanging around. That hope didn't just fade, it got bulldozed by missed chances, mounting injuries, and finally the moment when even Mahomes couldn't pull another miracle out of his cape. Reid acknowledged the effort was there, stressing that the team fought until the final whistle, which somehow made the loss hurt even more.
Yeah, the guys are down. They busted their butt to win the game, and I wouldn't expect anything less. It's not a great feeling. I wouldn't expect it to be after losing a game.
Then there's the injury conversation, which insiders say has quickly turned into a full-blown post-mortem on how things unraveled.
Patrick hurt his left knee. We'll get an MRI tomorrow or this evening, whenever they get him in there.
Mahomes' ACL injury didn't just end the game, it ended the season and ignited debates about whether the offensive line finally collapsed under pressure. The line had been a concern all year, even when the numbers tried to be kind, and that Mahomes had been compensating with movement, creativity, and sheer willpower for weeks. And as that season-ending reality check settled in across the league, life kept moving fast for the Kelce household, where Jason Kelce's wife, Kylie, quietly stepped back into the spotlight with news that felt equal parts emotional and powerful. Kylie and Jason recently expanded their already lively crew, welcoming their fourth daughter, Finn, and officially upgrading their household to full chaos mode in the best way possible. Despite being deep in newborn life, Kylie still managed to surprise fans by recording a special postpartum episode of her podcast almost immediately, because apparently slowing down just isn't in her DNA. Not long after that burst of productivity, Kylie hit pause on the podcast to fully focus on maternity leave, swapping microphones for baby bottles without making a fuss about it. Jason, meanwhile, kept things moving on his end, continuing to drop new episodes of his show and even sneaking out for a rare public appearance alongside his brother Travis at a golf tournament in Las Vegas. Jason admitted it felt strange being out of the house again after being in full family mode, like re-entering society after a long hibernation. While Jason handled the occasional outing, Kylie stayed mostly low-key as the family adjusted to life with 4 kids, all under the age of 6, which sources describe as loving, loud, and probably powered by caffeine. But she didn't stay out of the public eye for long. Over the weekend, Kylie made her first major appearance in months, and it wasn't for anything casual. She took the stage at an Eagles Autism Symposium and delivered a speech that had the entire room emotional. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.